Good morning, folks. Welcome aboard another day of Building Evie. Welcome to the Swans as well. This is the starboard kitchen, mainly the starboard kitchen anyway. It's pretty much getting the kitchen to the stage that it is now. So I'll do a little review at the end of the things that I need your help with. So we started, well, as you can see, this is back in the marina, so back in the old days. But started by trimming the end off the worktop. That's at a marginal angle, and this is chopping about half an inch off the back in a straight line, simply because the one side of the boat is clearly not the same with reference to the centre line that I have. My centre line is in the roof because because of my complicated roof, as you know. So I was really lucky that it worked out that I'd done the centre line on the roof rather than the floor, but it does cause me some other grief, I'm sure. Anyway, this is cutting out the hole for the hob, and so it's just going in with a spade bit in the corners, and then just marking off and using the track saw again because, well, it's kind of the easiest thing really to just go through and do some straight cuts, just trying to get as far into the holes, into the corners as we could, and then finish it off in a moment or two with the jigsaw. And there's obviously some double measuring and what have you, because you don't want to do these things wrong. And for anybody that's going to ask me why I'm cutting out that whole thing for the hob, well, you know, it's not a sink, and this definitely protrudes below the level of the worktop. So let's not have a discussion about that one. But as you can see, this is just Brad finishing up the corners with the jigsaw. I'm just holding it up. I had a little clamp in there to hold it, because that just sort of made life easier. Then just check that it went in. It seemed easier to kind of make sure of that before we got around to putting it on board and whatever. And then it was a question of doing the same thing, rounding off the edge with my 4mm round over bit, because 6mm was too much, and so that's what we're using. Then it's on with the cherry Fiddies wax, I think it is, and just, you know, this is all down to Brad really. There was a bit that we found on this that was less than good, but it definitely is in the top, and fortunately it just about hides itself under the gunnel, so we got away without having to actually kind of fill it and do loads of wax work. But it's just a question of preparing and things before getting to the waxing. Come on, Jeremy, where's the waxing? Maybe actually Brad was in a bit of a rush on this particular day, and I'm not sure that I've got all the waxing on this video, because it was a question of just kind of getting on with things and getting stuff done. On the underneath, then we just used the wax that I use for the walls. So this is antique oak or whatever it was, but to just sort of seal the bottom and the back, then we just used the antique oak before going on with the more expensive. Well, actually, it didn't. I mean, it's not that much more expensive, but I've just got far less of it. Of this Fiddies wax, so that's the surface. There we go. That was Brad pointing out the bit that I think is well, less than ideal, but as I say, it's fine. It's pretty much under the gunnel. I'd already put on one coat of the hard wax, the hard floor wax that I'm using as the surface coat. So this is just a light sand off the following day, and then a tack cloth to take off all of what's there. In with with another coat of this, which is just going on with a cotton cloth, and there'll be some, you know, wax on, wax off, keeping it all in straight lines in a minute. Standard sort of stuff. I guess I really should have cut this out. You've seen me do this sort of thing before. I'm trying not to wipe too much of it off, because you do want some reasonably thick layers to begin with. But anyway, there was I did the standard 3 layers on that, which is what I'd done before, and having got it in and attached it onto those brackets at the end that I put in, then that was the fridge in. So that was exciting. I had to check up in my book to see which fuse that was. Obviously, that's all working. So just undoing all the tape, the transport bits, to get the fridge actually working, which was good. Here I am putting in some drawer runners, I think, or possibly some more brackets. This is more brackets for sure, to hold the worktop in position. I can tell by where I am in positionally what I'm actually doing. And yeah, well, this is a better view. Look, you can actually see me do the work. The drawer runners were very much getting in the way, and I'm going to have to take some of them off to get to the screws, because my drawers won't quite go past the screws that I've had to put in at an angle. These pieces of wood are pieces that I've used as markers or spacers already on other sets of drawers, so I know they are correct. I've kept them since I made the cabinets in the workshop, and that's a spacer for how far back to inset the front of the runner from the face of the units, and just popping those in. And then here I am starting to cut some holes. The oven says that it needs more ventilation than it's got in this small area, so I'm trying to create some paths for air to move around. And so this is looking down from on top of the work surface, and literally I'm just kind of getting in there, and then I'll break it out and a little bit of a tidy up, and then the oven will go slide back in to where it needs to be. So that all. Oh, well, there was I couldn't get to the correct side of that stretcher that was in there, because it was the screws for it were on top of the stretcher, so I had to just kind of break it out, which was a bit annoying, but I guess you'll never see it. There were some screws in there that are bent and things. This is the little clips that go go around the hob, and well, everything lines up nicely and goes in. Just a little thing, if you're going to fit an oven, then if you're making your own cabinets, then I've had to put these holes in here and here, because I can't put holes in there because I can't get to them without literally taking the whole thing apart. So I've put a hole in here, and a big hole here as well. Essentially, the oven wants to have a path straight through down to here, but I can't do that. So, well, not without a hell of a lot of work. So I've put all of those holes in to make everything fit. And now I'm able to start putting the drawers in. So these are those drawers going in. The 3 small ones, as I say, the ones right at the top won't quite fit in, because the sides won't go past the screw heads for the top of the. There we go. There's me having a trouble. They won't go through past the brackets, so that's more than a little bit annoying. And this is my pan drawer. The tape is very much a temporary measure, but I will come back to you with that. I've already located where these are supposed to be previously, so that's why I can just I'm not doing this completely blasé. There were screw holes there previously for those mounting brackets, and because I'm about to start using the kitchen and it lets me get it out of the way, then I put the fire blanket up there, and I just put another screw in at the bottom to help hold it against the tumble home, because otherwise it was sort of wobbling around a bit. And this is this is back to the port side, but this is the last set of drawers, or the last set of full set of drawers. The other, where you can see the cereal boxes just over my left shoulder, and the bin further along there. Then there are faces to go on there, but they're much bigger. So I've got my trusty spacers out. Having made them once, then I was very careful not to lose them in moving things around. I knew I'd need them again, and they certainly made the job an awful lot easier than trying to line things up. Definitely a fan of spacers over measurements, if you see what I mean. By making the spacers once, then I was very much assured that everything would be in the right place. So that was good. And more drawers going in, getting them out of the way. These bits of tape are temporary drawer handles, and this is where I will be needing your help. So your thoughts will be appreciated shortly. I'll explain what I'm thinking. So I did have ideas for the drawer handles of them being these leather type things. There are various different colours available. They're slightly different thicknesses. Some of them are very flimsy, some of them are a bit thicker, some of them are matte. That would have gone better perhaps on the other side, where the drawer over there is only 300 wide. So that in the middle perhaps. And I was thinking that I would have red on one side of the boat and green on the other. Those of you that are nautically minded would know why I might be thinking that. But I've been struggling to find A, the right sort of colours, and B, the other thing is that now I've been living with them for a while with these tabs on the bottom, then what I realise is that what I really want is to be able to get my hand in very easily when I'm stood up. So, but I don't know if anybody has any bright ideas about handles, then you can see that I got a vast selection. I bought them off AliExpress just to see what they were like, and yeah, so I bought a couple of other things. There's this sort which would just hang down, and then but that I've decided against, because for the aforementioned reason you can't get your hand in it from the top. So have at it. Anybody that has any bright ideas about what they think about particular handles, I'm thinking it's just going to be some sort of standard loopy thing. I did really want the red and green, but I don't think I'll find anything. So anyway, that's about that one, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe.